This week on 5 Brilliant Things, we have the brilliant Horatio Gould.
The thing that my girlfriend finds the least attractive about me is that I'm actually very bad with cold water.
When Daniel Craig is like walking in the sea, you're like,
Yeah.
no one walks in the sea like that. As soon as the water kisses your bollocks, you're like, suck him, fuck off.
If my mum made a roast chicken when I was like younger, she would let me on the carcass like a dog.
You and a chicken, I imagine the top's off.
Almost like, you know, when you
Nappy on.
a so bad you have to take your top off.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I'm settling in. This is a day of Test cricket.
Yeah. 2 guys, cocks out, wearing capes.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that crowd?
Tough crowd.
And one of them went, they didn't even go for the Eiffel Tower.
That's her banker.
Honestly, and it was just
If you don't like this, you're going to hate the rest of the set.
it was that. Horatio Gould, nice to meet you.
Absolute privilege, Russell. Thanks for having me on.
And you're 2 weeks into a new house.
2 weeks into a new house.
How does that feel?
Feels great. It feels good.
Do you know the people that you're flat sharing?
Yeah,
Are you on your own? What's your...
I'm living with my girlfriend, BB, who's another comedian.
You should
and, Paddy Young. Do you know Paddy Young?
The name rings a bell.
He's another comedian. So it's sort of the 3 of us living in this sort of thruple situation.
Great.
His sister has been on the podcast.
Right.
Jessie,
yeah. Great.
So it's sort of very much like a sitcom flat.
Yeah.
Sort of, there's a lot of canned laughter.
Well, I know her from being an old man and not going to the Edinburgh Fringe this year and checking out Chortle and seeing that she got lots of good reviews.
Yes.
So I know her through that. Now, how would I know Paddy Young?
You'd know Paddy Young from his videos, from his stand-up. He does a lot of sketch stuff.
Does he have a partner?
He doesn't have a partner. He is, he won't mind saying this, he's 34 but looks like he's 28, as
Right.
opposed to my podcast partner Finn, who's 35 but
Yes.
looks like he's 42.
Yes.
So it's very funny hanging out mainly with 2 people the exact same age with the complete opposite situations. you know.
Agreed.
Finn's talking about his mortgage. Paddy is debilitating whether to buy a new pillowcase.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
sort of at that stage.
And how do you feel then, having to receive this mortgage chat and pillow chat? You're just in the middle, trying to live your life.
Well, I'm sort of both. You know, so I don't mind it.
One hand in a pillow.
Exactly, I do. Yeah, exactly. I like having someone who's. What's good about Finn is he's a very rare proper adult in comedy.
Fuck me.
Do you know what I mean? But no, in comedy, all
Yeah.
of my friends are man children in their mid-30s
Yes.
who have complete arrested development.
I know what you mean. It's that funny thing where you're so fortunate because I sort of think of like, so I used to like, don't know if you tour with Finn, but I would gig a lot.
Yeah, I've toured with Finn. Yeah.
So there you go. So,
Yeah.
but you're touring with a man who has 2 kids and a house.
No neurodivergence,
Yeah.
which seems to be almost impossible
Yes,
these days.
exactly. And
Everyone's got something. He's got nothing.
he's got nothing.
Which I guess is a disability in itself.
Yes.
He seemed to walk out the womb in a 3-piece suit.
Yeah.
Is sociopathy not a form of neurodivergence?
Well, I don't know if that's been. This is what I was actually have a bit about this in my show about how like that's yet to be sort of yassified.
Yeah.
Narcissism, sociopathy. You don't put that in your bio, do you?
No.
You know how ADHD, you get the rainbow flag, and it's
Yeah.
like it's very like empowering. This is my superpower. No one's got pathological narcissist in their bio.
But it's like, how long before, like, I'm so saucy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
sort of becomes that.
Well, just like as a member of the narcissistic community,
Yeah.
I actually really struggle to empathise with
Yeah.
anything because I really don't care.
Yeah,
To be honest, fundamentally, by
not-
definition,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck because I'm 100% narky woo. I
Yeah,
can't help
exactly, and
it.
that's just I'm neurodivergent, so
Psycho-curious?
psycho-curious.
Curious.
Is that being into psychopaths, or
sure,
or
just
you're just not sure trying it out? Yeah, psycho-fluid.
fascinating?
I guess we're all psycho-fluid. I guess.
Exactly. What is your first brilliant thing?
My first brilliant thing is Google. I said Google Maps, but I assumed you probably think I mean like directions. I actually mean Google Earth satellite.
Okay.
You know when you can go and zoom out and you make it satellite
Yes.
and you can just go around the world.
Yeah.
I think that's absolutely incredible.
So you're like a sort of Michael Palin, but just sat at home.
Basically, if I'm ever on the
That would
phone,
be the laziest travel show ever. Of like Horatio's, around the world. Yeah, exactly.
basically, if I'm on the phone with someone, I need to do something with my hands or something like I just need to stim basically, and I will always just be hurtling through space and time, zooming in and out, and I just find it endlessly. I just feel people don't react enough. Obviously, it's attached to like tech giants, and we're all down on tech, you know, and it's true. But you've got to find the joys in it as well. You know, yes, it's Google, yes, it's the, you know, all of that stuff. But you also have to step back and say, if you showed a medieval peasant this, if you showed Magellan this, if you showed Christopher Columbus, they would absolutely blow their head off. It's an amazing thing that I'm just going in, out. It's this godlike thing, and no one seems to be obsessed with it as I am. I just spend, I could spend all, I'm always just like, what's going on? What's going on in Libya these days?
But it's a
random cafe. Not much.
Yes.
Not much.
Imagine, again, it would be a great 24-hour news report.
Yeah.
Just
You're going like this. It's the entitlement, I think. It's just the scroll there and then just zoom in, have a look. What's that bit of forest in Russia like? There's like a couple of houses. Who the fuck lives there?
So in many ways,
what are you doing?
You're kind of like a nosy drone.
Yeah,
But you're not killing anybody. You're having a little.
I'm extraordinarily nosy, and I think that's a very defining thing about me. And I think it's just like, and I've also found a lot of stuff on there. I found like a lot of crazy stuff that I've looked up. I found the Aral Sea, right, and it's just this massive, like I don't know, salt flat in the middle of like, I don't know, Uzbekistan or one of those stans. Basically, it's retreated to a 10% of its original size because of a man-made disaster in the Soviet Union. And it's probably the biggest ecological disaster that sort of happened man-made. And no one knows anything about it. But I found it because I was just nosing around. I was saying, this is odd. This is sort of like a dehydrated lake. Right?
Wow.
There's a flaming pit also in the Stans that will burn forever. It's a rare kind of ecological thing where there's just this constant flow of gas coming out. And it's
the mouth of hell.
Yeah, it's the mouth of hell. And I found that just like just flying like Superman around Google Maps. Well, not I was on the phone with my mum. And she's telling me a story, and I'm just, you know, stimming around.
Psychologically, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot.
You're talking to your mum, and you're also looking at the mouth.
We shouldn't have that. We shouldn't have that power, basically, but we do. So I'm going to use it.
Yeah, but you're using it in a very. Are you deliberately hunting sort of for like dark tourism?
Yeah, I look at the Uyghur Muslim camps in China. Like, as soon as I found out about them, I was like, let's go look at We've got satellite images.
Yeah,
let's have a peek. What's going on?
And
not much. You can't really see anything from them.
How close are you allowed to zoom in on the Uyghurs? I imagine the Chinese government are kind of. It won't get closer.
Yeah.
Why won't it?
Well, you can do that thing where you pick up the man, you can drop him in a random street view.
Like Jack Whitehall is on the Google Maps. I think like.
Really?
Slumped in a bus stop. Yeah. like we just caught him on an off day.
Well, I think that's
and it's kind of when he's sort of just. Just about doing stand-up, but he's still a student, and he's like clearly wasted on a bus stop. Yeah. And I remember him seeing it. Like, that would be bad. I guess that's the problem, isn't it? It's a bit like that is someone's digital version of those people. Well, let's say you're doing a peculiar thing when it all kicks off in Pompeii.
Right.
But it is that thing where you're like, oh, God.
What, you got caught the guy got caught wanking?
Do you know what I mean? This is you forever.
Forever, yeah.
Or that guy, I often think, it might have been before your time, but there was a thing in FHM about a bloke that went to a cave and fucked a chicken.
Right.
And a rock.
FHM, was it?
Yeah, it was in FHM. And the rock fell on him, and he was kind of caught having sex with his chicken. And obviously somebody went click and took a photo, and then that's him forever.
When you say a rock fell on him,
well, yeah, that's
was
the
he
photo.
sort of flattened in 2D, both bumming a chicken? Or was he knocked out with?
Is he dead? Did he die?
He's dead, and people took a photo of him, but his cock is.
He's just sheathed with a chicken.
Yeah, but it was this thing throughout the sort of like noughties where, you know what I mean, you kind of go like you'd be on the back of your bus going to school, and you're like, look at this, and there was in between like photos of Denise Van Outen, there was a bloke going, well, not like this. But he's dead. But the point I'm making...
Well, R.I.P., I guess.
But Jack Whitehall is kind of like a sort of safe one-show version of that. Like that, do you know what I mean? Where it was like... But yeah. How did you get into that?
I think as soon as because I think it used to be called Google Earth. Yeah. And I remember being like 8 years old going on my mum's desktop computer. Yeah. And as soon as I saw it used to more sell it as a big pitch, Google Earth. It wasn't like just the maps that you could press satellite. Yeah. And I remember I just immediately was like, this is that. Because I've always loved globes and maps and stuff, but it's got everything.
Yes.
Think about how hard it was for people to draw the world and how, you know, how shit the early attempts were and stuff. When you're literally like, there's people just looking at a coastline being like, well, I guess it comes out a bit, then in a bit. But then you've got everything.
And
I guess it's almost sad having everything because there's nothing else to find.
Did you do history at university?
No, I didn't actually. Surprisingly,
what
I didn't.
Did you do?
I did film
theory.
So, I didn't want something too academic. I kind of wanted to go to uni and have as much of a sort of piss up as I could.
And did you want to do film?
Yes,
or?
I still want to do film eventually. When I grow up, I'd like to do film.
What would like a sort of comedy film or just?
Yeah, I think. I always tell myself this. Basically, what happened was I was a runner on a film set. I wanted to be a film director, writer, director, and stuff like that. And I was so terrible at being a runner, right? Like just awful, bad at making teas and stuff. I was like, I genuinely have more chance at directing a film if I become a stand-up comedian. And over 10, 15 years, get to the point where they let me, then if I'll get stuck here. Do you know what I mean?
You're a shit runner forever.
I'll never get a promotion.
Yeah.
I'll go via, and then it's sort of just stuck. And, I'm still waiting to get back
an
into
interesting film, like a sort of a mockumentary style thing around the concept of the runner.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like we had Jason Dawson started off as a kind of runner.
And now he's a commissioning editor.
But he used to work on our show. There was a brilliant girl who
Was he a good runner?
He was fantastic.
Yeah.
But there's a brilliant girl who shall remain nameless who was great, but she just kept falling asleep. And it was like, but do you remember her?
That's more my
She was
speed.
so good.
She found asleep in rooms.
Yeah, and it was just because she was clearly being worked so hard. Yeah. And for the benefit of the people that don't know, a runner is kind of like this sort of term in entertainment. You'd have it on TV shows and films and whatever, that they basically
odd jobs, but
so many odd jobs, and it's just kind of like tease and photocopying and go there and drop these things off, and it's just everything.
And normal workplace HR doesn't really apply in the film industry because it's the pace of it's too quick.
The talent shat himself. Can you just sort it out?
Yeah, exactly. There's no the protocol's not really there for.
She's fallen asleep in his shit. Come on, but it's this. Yeah, but it would be a very interesting. It'd be a fascinating world to explore.
Yeah,
stories. They'd have great stories. Runners, I'd have thought.
But if they could tell the stories, they probably wouldn't.
But it's the problem. The problem is they couldn't tell. But they also they can't tell the stories because then they won't progress.
Exactly.
But you're right. Yeah.
Because then they'll be telling the stories about runners on a film set, and you'll have runners, and it's the same.
Why is there no tea on this show?
Yeah.
As soon as the runner's in charge of, directing, he's going to be an absolute arsehole, I feel.
What is your next brilliant thing?
My next brilliant thing is saunas.
Oh, yeah.
I've got really into saunas recently.
Now, do you go infrared like Gwyneth? Or
No.
do you go old style?
So I think this is it's becoming more of a trend around people my age. I guess like late 20s, I think saunas have sort of boomed because people of our generation are maybe drinking a bit less. And I think post-lockdown, there was just kind of like, I feel like the smoking areas have started to diminish in London, and now the community saunas have been filled up, and the chat of a smoking area has been replaced with the sauna.
Yes.
So there's now a community sauna where you meet people, and there's a socialising thing in a sauna.
Which has obviously been a thing in the Nordics forever.
Well, I think more Greco-Roman, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I love, something that I really think is missing, and I'm sort of getting to it with the sauna, but I love the idea of talking business in a bathhouse, right? I want to be, I think there's, I want to be, Ideally, if I'm being honest, yeah. I want to be in a small
Not
town.
now, Linda.
No, exactly. This is fat blokes time. We sit there, and I don't know. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. It doesn't matter what we achieve. But the concept of talking about something serious while being pretty much naked in a hot room, I think is absolutely brilliant.
There's something extraordinary about it because you, at that precise moment, you have no way of fixing big things.
No, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
It's irrelevant. It's replaced the 5 a.m. afters.
What's the 5 a.m?
After a big night, 5 a.m. back at someone's house, right? And you're talking shit. You're putting the world to rights, and it also is achieving nothing.
Yes.
But now I'm getting a bit older. 5 a.m. afters, no. 5 p.m. sauna.
Yes, I see.
Right.
Before a gig, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're coming in quite literally hot.
I'm coming in relaxed. I'm coming in, yeah.
Yeah, you're coming in unraveled.
Loose.
Yeah. No, I'm a
some ideas should stay in the sauna though, and I think it's a sacred space.
The thing about the sauna, sort of, like, and I've frequented many, like, I love it, and I always try and stay in a hotel now where there is a sauna.
On tour?
Yeah.
Always.
But I was at the Montreal Comedy Festival, I was super lucky that my shows were on really early and the sauna was open late in our hotel. So instead of like going to a bar after the gigs, me and my tour manager would then then go and have a late night sauna.
Yeah.
And the people that worked in there clearly were like, well, those two are going to fuck.
Yeah, definitely.
But it was oh my God, what a day to do a gig and then nip home for a sauna. Good Lord.
Well, I think there is something to be said. I think that what the Romans and Greeks got right is basically being straight while doing very gay stuff. And I think that is sort of like, I think that's where you can be the most sophisticated as a straight man. It's
definitely that.
Being naked with another man in a hot, sweaty room.
Yes.
But just being entirely straight while doing it.
You're so right, straight whilst doing gay stuff. That like the Romans,
there's something very powerful to that.
There's something very straight about that.
Yeah, exactly. Just
and saying that out loud. You know, she's very straight what we're doing.
Yeah.
The only snag is occasionally, so you're 28, so I'm 45, and where I live, I'll go, there's a sauna where I go, but the only voice you're hearing is that voice.
Right.
Of like the older gentleman. And that's a hard voice because it's that thing of, I'll tell you what the world's, and you're like, here we go.
Oh, here we go. But it's like a smoking area, is it not?
It is, but
you're stuck in there.
But it's all like, because all the Deliveroo lads are Brazilian. You know, it's sort of that where you're like, and you're having to sort of listen in silence. Yeah. They're all Brazilian.
Yeah.
And in your head, you're like, how the fuck do you know if they're fucking Brazilian? And does it even matter if they're Brazilian? But it becomes that, of course they're everywhere now.
Yeah, because I guess the one I go to, it's aimed at young people. So it's like, it's that, but I have had some where you have an older person come in and then they're coming into the chat and you're like, oh, this is why we can't have nice things.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, it's sort of like, and the problem I find myself is because clearly I'm 45, I'm withering, I'm in the autumn of existence.
I thought you were 37.
Yeah, well, this is the pickle, but I'm not. And then if I try and migrate my way down to the 28-year-old sauna,
right?
It's like, what are you doing here? And also, I'm kind of famous, so it's this weird thing of like, what the fuck is Russell Howard doing in here, trying to talk about permaculture?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
I mean, I've been noticing the sauna, and it does feel like, well, I'm stuck now, aren't I? It's not like you can't do a give and go. There's 6 people in here, and you know I can't like. Thanks very much, mate. I can't move on. You're locked in.
Have you ever been to a sauna in a foreign country?
Yes.
Have you been to Germany?
I haven't been to the German one.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the German one. I haven't been to a German. I did go to one in Amsterdam. I think it's called Zuiver, Zuiver, Amsterdam sauna. I forgot what it's called, but I highly recommend it.
Yep.
It's 40 quid for the whole day. You spend as long as you like. It's the best sauna I've ever been to. There's like 10 different saunas, steam rooms, everything. It's
what's your top temperature?
My top.
We talking 80?
I would probably not. I can't really handle it too much. Remember, I'm not really in there for the sauna thing.
You're in there for the
business discussions.
Even
though I don't work in business, I just still. But it's this crazy room. But the problem we found is, I went with my girlfriend. It is the best sauna I've ever been to, and the Dutch get a lot of these things. You know, they're good at this sort of stuff.
They absolutely are.
But they insist on nudity.
Yeah.
Right. And I think if you're a true sauna lover, you probably love nudity. I don't know what does it add.
Yeah. What?
This is a mixed sauna.
Yeah.
So, me and my girlfriend are naked. Obviously, and all of our friends who said, like, obviously it's weird for the first half an hour if you're British, then you get used to it. I don't think I ever got used to it, to be honest.
No.
And I think it didn't add to the experience. It's an amazing sauna, but yeah, there's loads of old blokes with their tackle out.
Yeah.
Me and my girlfriend are naked. It's like, yeah, you guys are Dutch. You guys are sickos. Of course, you don't find this weird.
Yeah.
And I also don't think everyone, the way that Brits talk about Europeans' approach to it, it's like, oh, we're so repressed and stuff. No, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
I don't think just constantly getting
Correct, you're right.
your knob out, I don't think it's like, oh, we're so backward.
Well,
I think you guys are sick freaks, to be honest.
Absolutely. And also, you're Dutch and you're used to beauty because you are a beautiful, live, tall
Definitely.
bunch. And the sex shows all over Amsterdam where Dutch people
They're bored of it.
have sex and they tourists go and watch them. Like that doesn't exist in Blackpool, for example.
Probably does.
But when people are
Probably does.
people aren't queuing up.
It's terrifyingly cheap.
Yes. Well,
You're like, can I pay more? Because I don't think.
But it's like
I don't think
Reader's
£3
Wives.
should be.
It's Reader's Wives brought to life. But it's that thing of like, I remember so I was in a German sauna and this lady was speaking to me in German and I figured out, oh, right, I clearly have to be naked. And the look of confusion on my cock, it was like, when they like rip the balaclava off a criminal.
Yeah.
And It was sort of like that. It was
Or it's like when you give medicine to a dog and they look at you angry and you're like, this is what we have to do.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it. But I think the reasoning behind it is that it's meant to be more hygienic because there's sort of bacteria in your trunks or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
But
sure,
I mean.
mate.
But the only time I've done that, I remember I was in Denmark and I got all these kind of weird spots on my arse because I sat on the wood where other arses have been.
Yeah.
It was brutal. It took ages for all these weird spots to go away.
Yeah, I don't buy it for a second because it's definitely a German guy saying, no, it's very hygienic. You have to get undressed now. This is the most hygienic way.
So when did you get into saunas?
I think I only started getting into them because of this one right by where I used to live in Mile End. And it was nearby, so I gave it a go, and then I've sort of been obsessed.
And you do the cold plunge with it? It's the best.
It's great.
Again, you don't even be doing that naked.
It's Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Because it's just like,
Yeah.
But I love it. Do you feel like
So it's mainly the business aspect I want to get
Is it
that.
genuinely business?
Yeah. No, I mean...
But what business have you done?
It's not...
What business?
Nothing's been achieved.
Yeah.
And it's people who I'm not business partners with, who I'm going in there with.
Give me some of the conversations you've had.
I guess it's like... It would be something like... To be honest, it would be quite generic stuff, but it would be said in a way as if it's business.
Okay.
So it would just be sort of talking generally about the way the world's going and stuff like that. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. To be honest, I don't even know.
So would it be that thing of like,
yeah,
that's the kind of water on the rocks, and then someone going, do you see about it was 110,000 doing the Unite the Kingdom kind of march? Is it that kind of thing? Is it like a social?
Is it more bin collections have gone twice weekly?
Okay,
that's it.
Oh, it's more that.
It's more localized. I feel that Unite the Kingdom. I don't want to split the sauna.
Cadbury's chocolate small in there. Have you heard that?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
It'd be sort of more
British business.
I can't even remember. It's just more talking about something with purpose in a hot room.
Yeah.
With another bloke, I think is very important for me.
Yeah. Are you aware of the World Sauna Championships?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. So this ran between 1999 and 2010.
Right.
Won invariably by Finns.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. They invented it.
Starting temperature 110 degrees Celsius.
Flipping hell.
Beginning temperature. Right. It was stopped in 2010. They would decide that would be the last one ever after one of the finalists died.
Okay. Right.
But technically, did he die in there and thus win? Because he was still in there.
Yeah.
He's broke the record. He had to go in
he's
anyway.
Fallen asleep in there.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He's gone for a nap. It's 130 degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
They both got severe burns, like staring each other out.
Oh my God.
He died afterwards. And the competition got away with it because the competitor was using banned ointments. And if he hadn't been using the ointments, apparently he would have been fine.
Oh my God! What? So on that? What? And that was making his body hotter.
Yeah.
Is that sort of like doping, but in the sauna world?
Yeah. He was.
The ointment scandal, right?
Wow.
Hibiscus oil and stuff like that.
I'm trying to point out there are dangers to using saunas, and we must all exercise responsibility.
We should.
Whatever business we're discussing.
When I say sauna, I do mean steam as well. Steam counts within the sauna culture. It's not just saunas. Steam's
There's always a funny smell in this steam room, though.
Well, because steam's for respiration, so it's all about the breathing in.
Yeah.
And sauna's for joints, but
yeah,
I like having both. I'm just a bit ADD, so I need lots of change. So as many as possible. That's why I love this Dutch one. It's because it had like 10 different rooms.
How long are you staying in your kind of cold plunge? Do you know the ratio?
I'm not very good at that.
Do you know about it?
And I think it's the thing that my girlfriend finds the least attractive about me is that I'm actually very bad with cold water.
Right.
So in the sea, I'm like, it's high pitched screaming. It's really, I think it's the most unmasculine I'll ever look, and I can see her recoil when she sees me in cold water.
But you're right though. It is that thing of like the only like it's like when Daniel Craig is like walking in the sea. You're like, no one walks in the sea like that. Like as soon as the water kisses your bollocks, you're like, suck him, fuck off, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like that's not unmasculine. That's just being a bloke.
Thanks,
isn't
Russell.
It?
That means a lot. I'll tell her that.
Yeah,
I'll tell her what Russell Howard said to me.
Nobody, but like when particularly British sea,
yeah.
but when it kisses your genitals, it would be insane for you to go, that's fine.
Well, that's what I've got a whole family of cold sea swimmers.
Oh, really?
So they really go for it and they love it. Like I got an uncle who swims in November, South Coast.
Oh, wow.
And he loves it. And to be honest, as soon as it hits summer, it gets too warm for him. right? And they're like dogs. They absolutely love it. And
I bet his testicles look like Greg Wallace.
Yeah.
Like, I bet they're like
Greg Wallace now or Greg Wallace before he started
Greg Wallace,
exercising?
like now, but all kind of, but all angry and just like. Do you like that? You know, when you're like fucking women
doing a Chinese accent.
Yeah, exactly. But good Lord, can you imagine what Greg Wallace's nutsack looks like? Given that what his face, I mean, it must be this proper like.
A lot of people don't have to imagine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Autism, eh?
Yeah.
What a moment that was.
Neurodivergence.
Yeah. Well, how fascinating. So, if you won the lottery, would you build a sauna in your own kind of?
100%.
With that, yeah.
100%. Basement, I'd have the whole complex.
What would be your perfect setup?
My perfect setup, you'd obviously have to have sauna, steam, cold plunge, a good shower,
hot tub,
yep, and then a pool. I mean, that's the whole lot. But then I have been to like when you go to the really fancy ones, they have saunas at different temperatures. They have like a relaxed sauna, then they have like an intense sauna, then they have like a Himalayan rock salt room.
Yeah,
which you don't really.
It's kind of weird though.
But it doesn't really. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But it's more the fact that
they
know that you're thick and you don't know what. So then you go and you go, oh, finally.
Yeah.
I've needed the rock salt room. I need that.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. You know?
And it's.
So I'd want lots of rooms like that because people would visit and they wouldn't know what the room was, but they'd think it's important.
Yes. Just a peculiar room.
Yeah, I might just make stuff up and say, well, obviously you've got to have the, you know.
Yeah, it's almost like an escape room for one's own imagination.
Exactly.
Where you go in there and there's kind of like just a telephone in the corner. You're like, oh, fuck, what is it? So you're sort of preying upon people's kind of intellectual fears.
Yes, yeah. And then they'd pretend that they know what they're talking about as well because they don't want to seem. But then it's a room I've completely made up. A Malaysian sugar room, you know.
The Asian sugar room. What is your next brilliant thing?
My next brilliant thing is chicken.
Chicken, okay.
Yeah.
Alive or dead?
Dead. Definitely dead.
Mm-hmm.
I just think chicken is the big staple of my diet. Right. It's been there. It never lets me down. I think we all find foods that just suit us. And I think just as the most I probably could have chicken maybe there's meats that are better tasting, maybe a steak or something like that, but a chicken is always there for you.
Yes.
And I kind of like it in all its forms.
Okay. Yeah. If you had to pick a favourite, what would it be?
I probably would pick a Sunday roast chicken with crispy skin, potatoes and a lot of gravy. I actually think, though it's not maybe the classic Sunday roast, you know, you'd imagine, because I have chicken all through the week, so if I'm having a roast, I'd probably go for beef, maybe pork. But it is probably the most superior roast, in my opinion.
Yes. Are you having that with stuffing? Are you having it with the Yorkshire pudding?
I would not have Yorkshire pudding with chicken.
You wouldn't? No.
I'd actually keep if I was having a Sunday roast chicken, I'd actually keep it quite simple, because I think the chicken does a lot of the talking.
Sure.
I'd have really good thin gravy. I'd have really good potatoes, and I'd have probably broccoli.
Just that simple. Yeah.
I'd probably do it like that. So it's barely even a roast.
No carrots even coming into play, or?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Minimalist.
Yeah. Focused. I get quite focused, hyper focused.
Sure.
On my chicken.
It's difficult to argue against chicken as your go-to multi-purpose meat.
Yeah. What's your favourite meat?
Probably chicken.
Yeah. If you had to lose a meat, if you could only have one meat for the rest of your life, it'd probably have to be chicken, right?
I think so, just because of the variety.
And the health implications. If you chose burgers, you'd be dead in 10 years.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, chickens, they're sort of a miracle, though, aren't they, chickens? Because there's so much in one animal. And it's so easy to
and I'm incredibly fortunate that my wife is a big fan of the thighs and the breast.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm,
Really?
No, she likes thighs and wings, whereas I would just go breast. So it's
Are you one of those people who are scared of the bone? Does it creep you out?
Yeah, massively so.
My dad's like that.
Any kind of I like I like my chicken like Nigel Farage likes Britain.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I
Dry.
want it white.
Yeah.
But I don't want any different shades.
I do completely.
But they're kind of
disagree
like
with you.
Well, exactly. My wife, it's more flavoursome. Like apparently there's sort of that brownish chicken around the wings.
It's way better. The texture's way better. Breast I will eat, but it is a discipline thing, and it's to remind me how dry life can be sometimes. It's more of a spiritual thing that I have.
But it responds well to a sauce, the breast.
It does. Yeah, but I think thigh and to be honest, if my mum made a roast chicken, when I was like younger, she would let me on the carcass like a dog when everyone's finished with it. Because to be honest, I prefer it off the bone. If I could be, it's sort of like, imagine like a sort of Viking banquet after a pillage.
Are you slinging?
To be honest, I probably wouldn't sling. If I'm being really honest, but I think I am. If I'm left alone, it's quite shocking, the scenes.
I love that. But there's something fascinating, like the way we eat and the way we eat on our own. Yeah. So you instantly conjure up a very different, like you and a chicken. I imagine the top's off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But just because...
Russell, there's times where it's like, this is a proper session.
Yeah.
Top off. It's like almost like, when a shit's so bad you have to take your top off.
Yeah.
It's like I'm settling in. This is a day of Test cricket.
Yeah. So we've established your favourite part of the chicken. What's your favourite sauce to go with it? I'm a huge fan of buffalo.
I think buffalo's an amazing.
Good Lord.
This is what Americans do well. They kind of like, they get down to a lab and they sort of work out the flavour to a certain scientific precision.
Yep.
It's like Coca-Cola. There's just there's so much like science behind why it tastes the way it does. Italians, it's the culture, it's the freshness of the ingredients. With Americans, they've like, what's good about a sauce? Let's like break it down. So I don't really understand buffalo sauce, but I love it.
Yeah, it's really interesting because it's so spicy and like vinegary and but it's different to that kind of like sort of vindaloo spice. You know what I mean? It's just because my wife can absolutely nail it and yet can't have anything hotter than
it's numbing spice as opposed to like Szechuan is different to Indian curry spice because it's a numbing spice, so it hits different things that I don't understand. I adore fried chicken, and my favourite fast food outlet probably is KFC, even though... So obviously comedians, we kind of like, whether we like it or not, have a real understanding of late night fast food and options, because that's so much of my life is after a gig, finding something to eat. So chicken's obviously the thing you go for. But KFC, I feel that they have the rudest staff because they know how good the spice mix is. McDonald's, they treat you with a bit of respect. KFC, in general, they treat you with so little respect. They never give you the right... You have to ask for extra salt, you have to ask for sauces, anything like that, because they know you're going to come back, and they know that it's probably filled with the most shame, KFC. McDonald's has been more normalised, and they know that you're coming back.
But when you talk about shame, like, it's so funny. Like, when you see, like, a really excellent sort of stand-up routine. I remember seeing Sean Locke had a bit about the fact that you eat from a bucket. Yeah. Like, and it was this...
And they treat you like a pig, because you are a pig.
Because you've gone in and you've asked for a bucket of chicken. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And on my own, and it's like, yes, the service for a fast food restaurant is, even for that standard, you are being rude to me. But you know I'm going to come back next week.
Yeah.
So you can treat me how you like.
But it's essentially like you're a fox and they're in charge of the bin. And then you come in and go, I'm here to eat out of the bin. And they're like, of course you are, fox.
Yeah.
You're going to make a weird noise when you fuck. You shit in the street. Probably.
Yeah.
So that's the power. I would say KFC gravy is the best gravy in the world.
Yeah.
I think it's that thick, gloopy, dippable.
It is amazing. I feel if I had to stop having KFC so late at night. So the Colonel's, what is it, 12 spice mix? Do you know? I don't know whatever the special spice rub, the secret spice rub of KFC. I have had to stop having KFC so late at night.
Right.
Because I feel the spice mix has given me almost ayahuasca ceremony-like dreams. I don't know what, every time I have it, because I'll finish a gig, sometimes especially if I'm going out of London, the only place that we open at 3 a.m. is the 2 a.m. KFC. And then I'll have like a whole bucket, and then I'll go to sleep. And yeah, I am completely fucked. My dreams are these terrifying nightmares. And I don't know what it is. So the mixture of gravy, the spiced chicken, it's something all goes in, and I just have these like voodoo shaman-esque kind of like really terrifying nightmares, but in a way that it's not like a normal nightmare. It's got like a real like spiritual element, dark spiritual element to them.
What's happened?
It's like, I don't know, there's like, I'm getting captured in the jungle, there's fires, there's chanting, there's just a immense feeling of dread, Well, I imagine they've got some ayahuasca in the spice mist.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Have you done ayahuasca?
I have not done ayahuasca. And I'm sort of scared to, because I'm scared to become like people who've done ayahuasca and become incredibly boring at parties.
It's wow, that quickly became really excellent observational comment. But again, because I'm 45, I'm not at those parties.
Yeah.
But I hear tell of those parties and they sound very exciting.
I'm nosy, as I've said. I'm incredibly nosy. So I do want to do ayahuasca. But I'm not in a state where a lot of people do ayahuasca when they need a big change or like they've hit a rut. I'm feeling all right at the moment. There's nothing major I want to change about my life. And I'm worried if I do ayahuasca, I'm like, well, why did I just drive the car off the roads for no reason? You know, if you're really lost in your ways and you want this kind of reset, and I don't feel like I need a reset, but I am nosy because I want to know what... I like taking psychedelic drugs anyway, so I just want to see... I just want the vibe.
Yes.
But I don't need the whole like...
Yeah, it's the
and then I just realised, you know, we're all one. I've done all that.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all one, but like I want to like see some mad like
that's really
shapes and stuff.
It's really funny that like
I get it. Yeah, we're all one. Yeah.
But you're right.
That's early shit. Yeah.
But nobody's done that. Like to my knowledge, nobody's had that kind of revelation where they're like, yeah, we're all one. Ugh.
Yeah, like
God,
yeah.
But like
I worked that when I was like 20.
But being frustrated
after doing a balloon, like yeah,
but
I get that.
Being frustrated that you're connected to everyone else, like rather than we're all one. Like, but nobody's come from the other side of like, fuck, man, I'm related to Tommy Robinson. I am Tommy, and he is me.
It's just more. It's obvious. It's boring. Let's move. I want to see some mad shit. DMT is the.
That's the one, isn't it? Where
when you meet the aliens.
Yeah, and you travel to the pyramids.
Yes, and I want to do that, but that's just for a vibe. That's just for an experience.
Yeah,
that's more like going to the IMAX or going to one of those 4D cinemas where they just blast
with
smells
the glasses.
up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm the right person to go on a shamanic jungle tour. If I'm just like. I'm just here for the vibes, man.
And you don't need it.
No, I don't.
Because if you
yeah, we'll love each other. Yeah. Let's see the aliens. Let's have a fucking vibe, man.
But if you overeat on a 3-piece, you're there.
I'm already getting it.
Yeah.
I'm already getting the oneness of being.
Yes. Is there anything that comes close?
What?
To like a sort of a fried chicken? Is there anything that nearly knocks it out, or are you just...
I've got into steak recently. I wasn't like a huge... I think people got so obsessed with steak, I didn't get it. I think it was overhyped, but now I'm starting to understand. Maybe it's because I'm getting a bit older. I'm starting to really like... Because it's one of the nice foods that doesn't destroy me, you know, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's just lean protein. So.
And is your girlfriend, is she a meat eater? She
eats, and she probably won't understand this, she eats like she's thick.
Okay.
She has a sort of Brexit palate. She for someone she's a very beautiful woman, you wouldn't expect this about her, but she eats like she has incredibly low IQ.
Sweet.
She only eats Wotsits, Quavers, that sort of stuff. She any of those sort of anything processed like stuff like that. She just
It's fascinating that, isn't it? Because why is
loves switch, and also something about my girlfriend, which I'm like, you look thick when you do this. She tries any new sweets that come out.
Yeah.
So if it's like, well, I've got to try it. Do you?
Yeah.
There's like a Tutti Frutti Fantas come out. Well, I need to try the new flavour. Do you? She's one of the people who gets the mystery Fantas. Wow. Well, we need to guess what it is.
Yeah.
We're 28 years old.
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, and there's they got a new thing on it. Right? Yeah. Like a new biscuit comes out in a new shape. I love these guys. I love the work these guys are doing normally. It's like a new album's come out.
Yeah, it is fascinating that. But what is it? Like...
Skittles Chewies, got to try that. Oh, they're not that good. No. But she's trying them.
But it's what fascinates me about my wife as well, that, you know, so my wife's a doctor, and yet her diet, her televisual diet is that of someone who's no Jesus.
Yeah.
But it's like where you go, I don't understand. Your brain is so big.
Yeah.
And now we have the Real Housewives.
And you understand.
You've invited. Health. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
She's like, shut up. This is how I relax.
Yeah, of course. But
but it's that fascinating.
If you work as intense a job as a doctor or nurse, you need the most brain dead stuff to relax to, I imagine.
Yeah, it's so fascinating. But it I don't know. It's always blown my mind where you're like, how is this calming for you?
Yeah.
It must be.
Yeah.
Do you have like Tat that you watch on TV? Do you have?
I'm trying to get back into it because now I'm sort of gigging less than that, because I used to, because I was gigging like 5 times a week when you're sort of coming up in the circuit.
And are you not doing that now?
I've sort of, I think, I don't know if it's the same for you, but I feel you get to a point where There was the mantra of like all stage time's good time, and that's sort of after 5 years. I think that stops being true, and now I'm more selective about what I do. So I now have time in the evenings, and now I'm twiddling my thumbs a bit.
But it's
so I need more tat to watch, basically.
But do you, given your kind of work schedule, that because essentially you and Finn are having to turn over a hell of a lot.
I've got a day job now,
but you're in a different creative space, and it's sort of gigging in terms of having to entertain people. You can't just like busk a bit about 1066. Like, do you know what I mean? Like your evenings become your place for your brain to just kind of relax,
which it never was before.
It
used to always be my mornings, and now it's sort of my thing's shifting because of the podcast, because we do it so regularly.
Do you get more out of that, and do you have to kind of compartmentalize it and go, right, I want to be in my stand-up phase now, or how does it work?
I do. I think I miss being really tight at stand-up. I miss that new joke feeling.
But you have, surely you have that all the time.
You do,
but given
you never want to lose it. And I think with the podcast, it's very satisfying. And it, like, I didn't do Edinburgh last year because I wanted to focus on all the stuff I was doing and just like try and really like lock that in and make sure that was as good as it could be, and not feel this pressure to turn over another hour.
Yes, which is so funny given that. Think of like the hours that you're turning over.
Exactly, yeah.
But you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, fuck, I've got to come up with a new hour. You just did 3 last week, you mad cunt. No, but it's funny, isn't it? But we used to think this when we were doing the TV show.
Of course.
It's like, oh man, I've got to do another hour. But we would, we'd write, there was always 15 minutes of topical comedy, which I know to people at home doesn't sound like a lot. And yet it is.
Well, funny enough, I loved Good News. I don't know how old I was when I was really into it. I must have been like, it was quite a formative age when I was watching Howard's Good News. Maybe I was like 13, 12, maybe. But I remember you saying something, you got some funny thing up, and you'd said one of my writers found this. And it was the first time I'd actually considered the idea that there was a job of being a comedy writer, was watching you say that on Good News. And I was like, the idea of doing that would be my absolute dream.
What is your next brilliant thing?
My next brilliant thing is 10 minutes before a show as a punter, right?
Okay.
So not as a stand-up. And I don't think there's a price to music, but maybe it does. But going to either a stand-up show, variety show, theatre show, when you go in to sit down and there's 10 minutes before it starts and you've got a drink in your hand, and there's that buzz of excitement. For some reason, at the Fringe, I guess this happens a lot. I always have, if I'm with a friend, I have my best conversations 10 minutes before a show starts. Because there's an anticipation, there's an excitement. They've maybe got a good pre-show playlist on. Yeah. You're excited. And then you're like chatting. I always have a conversation I don't want to end.
Yeah.
And then you've gone from that moment, which feels because there's nothing else you should be doing.
Yes.
And you've got a bit of free time.
Yeah.
And then the show starts and it's like, oh no, I'm in a play. I'm in a play. And it's that feeling of regret when you're like, no. Oh, no, I'm watching a play. Oh.
And as far as heckles go, if you heard, imagine that as an actor, if you heard someone in the audience to go, oh, no, I'm in a play.
No, I want to carry on. So part of me, I wouldn't mind waiting for a play to start for 2 hours. And then
Get there early.
But it's all about the buzz, people just like sitting around. There's something, it's like conversations when you're having a cigarette. There's something else to focus on almost. It means that it just sings.
I tell you what's
and then it starts, the lights go down, and then when especially in like plays, we only watch like 2 plays a year out of guilt. But
it could be worse, could be a musical.
Yeah. But it's when they start speaking, it's like, oh, they're not mic'd up, and it's just like, you can just hear, it is someone shouting in a room. And you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. I had that. I went to watch the Harry Potter, sort of the 2-part play thing.
Yeah.
Sweet mercy. And suddenly all these like stage call kids come out, start singing. You're like, I just wish I had one of those darts. It's all like, we're in Hogwarts. Yeah. And you're like, not this.
You ever go to the loo during a play and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is what.
This is life. Yeah.
It's like when you're ill and you're like, as soon as I'm not ill, I'm never going to take it for granted again.
Yes.
That's me when I leave a play for a bit. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not in a play anymore.
Do you enjoy it in a small play space when the actors in character come into the audience and start acting at you in character?
My favourite version of like audience interaction, I remember seeing a comedian at Edinburgh, and it was one of those, I forget his name, but he was he put cat food in a condom and then rammed it up his arse.
Right.
You know, it was like it stunk in that room.
Right.
And there's this guy from New Zealand.
Peter Kay.
It isn't Peter Kay.
But Rhys James.
It was Rhys, yeah. But it was all this. But it was like all that, and then he suddenly he put his hand in paint, and he was going like that, like and sort of like lunging at the crowd, and I must have given him a look as if to go, you put that on me, and I'll fucking headbutt you. Yeah. So he kind of avoided me, and I just heard my friend Al, who was with me, go, oh, and I knew. That he'd put a face full of, and I just turned around, and my mate has got this beautiful fucking face full of paint. That's my favourite interaction. How about you?
I love on those sort of comics, because obviously on the open mic circuit, you get to gig with a lot of. What's interesting is when you see the top end of really alt comics, it's brilliant and it's inventive, but you have to remember they're built on a mountain of absolute shit. And what I always find interesting is when you gig with like an alt comic, and they'll do like there was one I was gigging, and he was like, I don't know, he was like hanging up his drawing on stage while telling poetry. Right, it was mad stuff, right? And it didn't go well in the room. It was a tough room. It's an open mic crowd. But what blew my mind is he goes off and he's like, fuck. He's sitting there like, fuck, just bombed. As it, like you would when you've just tried like your best stuff, and you're like, fuck. And he's sitting there. It's like, not only you have to go back on the tube holding your fucking a drying rack, but what did you can do that, but don't come off stage going like, what the fuck happened there? What's going on there?
It's extraordinary, but they like. I remember seeing my favourite example of just what you explained. Me and David O'Doherty are backstage at Late and Live. It's 1 a.m. I'm about to host Late and Live, and Dave was on first, so we've got there before the gig. Puppetry of the Penis were on just before Late and Live. And there used to be this circular stairs. So we hear this kind of stomp of feet and Puppetry of the Penis arrive. 2 guys, cocks out, wearing capes.
2 of them.
And they are talking like the way we talk, and they're literally with their cocks out going, what the fuck's wrong with that crowd?
Tough crowd.
But they were literally going, fuck me. Christ. Fuck is wrong with these people? Like,
did the MC not get them?
They didn't even go for and one of them went, they didn't even go for the Eiffel Tower.
That's her banker.
Honestly, and it was just
if you don't like this, you're going to hate the rest of the set.
It was that. But so me and Dave are like, oh my God, even for that, they somehow they have this kind of mania that they're highbrow. And they're like, you guys are fucking dead. They're dead. And all the while their dicks were like jiggling, and God, it was the funniest thing.
What I always find it fascinating is like when you hear Stuart Lee on a podcast, and he often will talk about how like modern comedy is like so predictable and rubbish, and like the way that he nostalgizes like the 80s is so funny, because then he'll bring up who he's like, because now it's all just sort of like corporate mainstream stuff where everyone's just doing like observational hack stuff. You know, in the 80s, like we just had these people on the circuit. It was like, there's this guy called like the Iceman, right? He'd just get a block of ice, right? It was brilliant. And he would just melt the block of ice for the whole set. Hey, Stu, that sounds rubbish. There's this guy who used to like vomit in a bucket and eat it, and it's brilliant, you know, but now because, because of like capitalism and stuff like that. Now those people can't like, now it's all about making money and Instagram and stuff, so you can't. But there's people like, hey Stu, that sounds rubbish.
Yeah, totally. But it's also that thing of like, but what I love so much about it is the fact that the guy that vomits in the bucket and then eats it has that moment on the tube where they're like,
tough crowd.
What was you just
what was it? Was it me?
You can't help some
Thanks
people.
for the intro.
Yeah.
Do I get a bigger spoon? I don't know. Like what?
But it's again, like Late and Live used to be this perfect example of that. There was such a horrible, drunken honesty to it. So Chris Lynham, did you ever see Chris Lynham?
I don't think I have. No.
So basically, he was like a clown. It's one of the original sort of like clowning before clowning became Gaulier, and everyone went. Do you know what I mean? All the kind of. So he he came on stage. He's dying. I think he's got chocolate in his mouth, and he's going la 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 la, and the crowd are like, understandably, this is not for them, and they boo him off.
Yeah.
And then I come on stage and was like, he was going to end his show as he always does by putting a lit firework up his arse, and he was going to sing.
That's a closer.
There's no business like show business, right? So there you go.
That's a closer.
Exactly.
You can't open with that.
Well, this is it. But that's exactly what happened. So this guy goes, why didn't he open with it? So then I go, well, where'd you go, you fucking idiot? Like, if he comes on fire and his arse is
do
burning,
that, and then you go into middle of the road observational material.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Anyway, so Sainsbury, you know when you're at like a self-checkout?
Yeah. Keep them guessing.
I booked Chris last year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, wowzers.
My tiny little wooden hut of a gig.
Oh, great.
And
how did
it's a
that
great
go?
gig.
How did that go?
It's a great
gig. I'm on the phone to me, he goes, I suppose you want me to do the firework, eh? And I was like, well, you know, it's kind of your thing. He's like, okay.
Cost of living.
It's 30 quid for the English firework or 50 quid for the Russian firework. So he's got two different levels of...
So what are you, surely 50?
It's a wooden hut. I couldn't endanger the audience.
So none.
No, we had the English one.
Oh right, you didn't want it. Okay, fine.
You coward.
Yeah.
Surely.
Yeah.
Why don't you I'd have given you an extra 20.
Yeah.
I didn't want to kill a room full of people.
No, but you want to know the difference between the Russian firework and the English firework.
Yeah.
God, oh Jesus. I wouldn't mind booking him just for an event, just to see the difference. But then if that ends up in the papers, what is your next brilliant thing?
Oh, it's last one. This is my last brilliant thing.
Yes.
Which maybe a bit obvious, but I've chosen London because I feel a bit defensive of London at the moment for some reason. I feel like I think it's interesting because one, I feel a lot of like American right wing podcasters are sort of, who've never really spent any time in London, are sort of talking it down. You know, there seems to be a theme of like the Tucker Carlsons of this world, right? It's like, yeah, you go to London, used to be the pinnacle of Western civilization. Now, you know, you won't see one white person for like, you know, you walk for 3 hours, it's completely collapsed. You know, this is the state of Western civilization.
Yeah, like an American right winger is walking for 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I feel, just as a general thing about London, I find it quite interesting because I've lived here most of my life, and I sincerely like it as a city, whereas most people complain about it, I feel. And I feel like you don't have that in other cities of similar standing. Paris, they can't believe they're in Paris. You know, there's so many songs about Paris. That's just, you know, New York, they will not shut up about New York.
Yeah.
They can't believe it. Everyone in New York cannot believe they're there.
Yeah.
New York, concrete jungles where dreams are made of. You know, and you might say London, it's good if you've got money.
Yeah.
That applies to New York, that applies to Paris, that applies to all of these great cities. But it doesn't stop them having the sense of romance, of wonder. And I think it's just the English mindset that means that Londoners don't uplift London in a way that other similar cities. You could never write the song New York about London. Could you? And I guess the defining stories about London are normally like, I don't know, Oliver Twist, or like it's always disasters. It's like extreme poverty, and a lot of those criticisms are fair, but they also apply to every great city in the world, which find a way to romanticize themselves.
Is it not
I think it's the English mentality.
That's what I think. Like, and is it that we kind of, you know, we are broadly speaking self-deprecating
100%.
in comparison to America, that even you can see that within stand-up,
and less pretentious than the French.
But you know, and it's kind of like you can even see it through stand-up. Broadly speaking, America, you know, like Seinfeld is like, look at these idiots, have you noticed these idiots? Whereas British comedy is kind of like, oh mate, I did this thing, have you ever, you know, and it's like that shared. So I think that's what it is.
That's definitely.
But you're so right, though, that it's definitely it feels like it's been kind of weaponized as this kind of like...
People talk about London being in decline because of immigration, which I've lived here so long, and I still think London's managed to weather a lot of the storms of the country in general, which is its own problem. But I think pretending that London's collapsing or in decline, I think is wrong. I think it's sort of such a global city, it's become almost like immune to a lot of global shocks. And I guess I find it funny living here and sincerely being blown away by the city, which is something that you just never hear anyone say.
Yeah, and there's so many.
The people who live here their whole life, they won't have one good thing to say about it. Do you know what I mean? It's funny that I've always been like, I'm someone who needs new things all the time.
Where have you lived in London then?
I've lived, so I grew up like North London, like Islington Way. I then lived in East London. My family are all from Woolwich, Greenwich, sort of. Yeah. Like my London family are all from there. And my dad's lived out west. So I've had little pockets all over.
Yeah.
And I've lived here now for since I come back from uni, I've lived here for like 6, 7 or 8 years.
Where'd you go to uni?
I went to Warwick.
So that's a hell of a difference.
Yeah.
Because but you're going to a real campus uni.
Yes. And also I've never been to Warwick, the town.
Yeah.
Not once in my life, because it's actually Coventry Uni.
Yeah, it's
Coventry. But the branding is bad for Coventry.
But did you live in Leamington?
Lived in Leamington,
yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah, this is well, my wife went to Warwick University as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh,
so
nice.
she did conversion course there.
Nice.
And it is that funny thing that you go, okay, so it's actually in Coventry and we live in
Leamington. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed, because I'd lived in like London, and my mum lives in Lewis outside Brighton, so and I had my teenage years there. But having like... Living in Leamington was nice for a uni town, but I do find why I struggle to live in a small town is I get bored of all the places so quickly.
Yeah.
And that was the thing when living in Lem. It's just like I knew all the places, and it's just like it drove me mad that I knew it all.
Yes.
And I feel London, you can never know it, and every couple of weeks I'll still see something new.
Yeah.
And I forest bike everywhere, and I just feel like cycling through it is just amazing how it keeps changing and stuff like that. And like, not even in a funny way, I just sincerely feel surprised.
Am I a moron here? What is a forest bike?
So it's a line bike.
Right.
But what they do, they got a £50 a month deal where you get 1,000 minutes.
Right.
And so I don't really get the tube anymore. I just do that. And it's an incredibly entitled, probably dangerous way to travel. But
you had a helmet.
I did have a helmet, and I got that a week ago. I've been cycling without a helmet for about a year.
Yeah.
But I love how entitled it is. You don't take your bike with you anywhere. It's just about.
Yeah.
And also, I'll just walk it sometimes because I've got these like endless minutes that I never.
Is it an electric bike?
It's an electric bike.
They are extraordinary.
Amazing, but also because it's 1,000 minutes, I'm not getting charged per minute. I've got like basally an unlimited.
Are you getting close to that?
I sometimes break it, to be honest, because I'm using it so much.
And then
I'm taking a piss with it because I'm leaving it running when I had. And also, it's just like you'd rock up something, you pick one up, you fuck it off. There's something really entitled about just like I turn it on before I arrive, and it's like you manage to cycle somewhere, but you don't have to take care of it. Yeah. It might be battered and bruised, but you never have to see it again.
Yeah, and it's just the pace.
Yeah,
just that.
Yeah, it is probably how I'll die, but I'm addicted. It's like cigarettes. I'm addicted to it, and I accept that's how I'll die. On an bike, I'll get hit by one of those cement trucks.
Having a fag.
Yeah.
My weirdly, a friend of mine who from Leamington, he got hit by a bike 3 times in a year. Hit by a car whilst on a bike 3 times in a year. Every time he was okay. I mean, broken bones and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the third time, this car was about to hit him, and he's adamant that he went, "Oh, for fuck!" And it's such a British. Here we go again. But yeah,
like a reoccurring joke in a comedy film, basically.
But like
Rule of 3.
And you see him, and you're like, "Mate," again. He's like, "Fucking yeah, I know. What am I gonna do?" To bring it back to the majesty of the capital.
Yeah.
If you had to be pinned down, give me your top 3 things about London that you adore.
I think top 3 things about London. I would say I love the fact that there's no like rules to the architecture. I feel you go to different cities for different things, and I think there's like Paris or something has like that consistency. It's all like a designed by one person. I like the fact that it feels like there's no planning permission process. It looks like it obviously is in London, but it looks like everyone is just doing their own thing. So it's kind of completely free form. I think the worst thing about London is how early everything shuts. Will concede that that's the one thing I truly despise about
we
London.
don't. It's when you spend time in the States, we don't have that kind of late night diner culture.
I think
I wish.
Yeah.
And he gets so envious of kind of LA comics and New York comics, that kind of diner hang.
Well, it's got a blend of all things, and it's a lot like New York. Has a lot of the benefits of New York. It's maybe not as dynamic as New York, but it's nearly is, and it's just got a lot more history, and it's got much older buildings, so it has that blend that I think is amazing. Like you go to some amazing European historic cities, and they feel like a Disneyland or like a tourist thing, and it feels like London's a very alive city while also having all those things. But the fact that like in Soho, Friday night you're getting a last order spell at 11:30 is crazy because of the residential rules to respect the people who live in Soho.
Yeah. And the irony being, I now have to finish the podcast.
Okay, yeah.
So you're talking about how you hate closing time.
Yeah, exactly. But that's
drink
the one
up,
thing. Yeah.
Everyone out.
Yeah.
That was great. Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Horatio Gould.
Thank you very much.